Hello everyone, my name is Becca and welcome to Yellow Cat Studios. It is officially spooky season. We are well into spooky season and I have a costume to make. So this year I am making a cosplay that I have been wanting to do for years, so I'm really hoping it turns out well. It is also the 25th anniversary, I believe, of this movie. So I will be making Emily from The Corpse Bride. I will be starting with the corset, so I have this one here that I will be modifying. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm thinking about modifying the bottom of the corset here to make it more shaped like her dress. And then I will be adding the ribs on the right side here, and then color and details. So I'm gonna put this on and see where we need to go from there. So what I think I'm gonna do to try and mimic her dress shape is almost, I think I'm gonna cut the corset so it comes up to my waist here and have this part basically gone so that it gives more of that pointed shape that she's got in her dress. So I am gonna lose the bottom eyelet on the lacing back there, but that'll give me more of a straight. Is the back of hers straight? Okay, I lied. So I'm gonna cut the side up to my waist and taper it back down to the existing hemline, because the back of hers does come to a slight point as well. Okay, so here's where we're at after trimming the bottom there. I can't use the same bias tape that I took off because I didn't think about trimming this makes more surface area that needs to be covered. So I'm gonna use, I think, this dark blue bias tape that I have to do the bottom here, because I was gonna do a blue fade paint on there, so that should work just fine. But I think this shape is really good, so I'm gonna try and get this bias tape on here. The only thing I'm gonna have an issue with is gonna be the boning that's in here. I need to see if I can pull it out a little bit, trim it, and push it back in so I can sew the bias tape on.
It was easy enough to get the boning pushed down and cut. It's just plastic. And then I was able to sew the bias tape along the bottom of the corset here. And then it was time to create the ribs on the corset. So I just took some scrap foam that I had and cut up some rib shapes, and then painted them an off-white and covered them in Mod Podge. I painted a black spot on the corset where the ribs were going to go, just enough so that it looked like there was a hole around the ribs. I took some felt and fabric glue to try and glue them on. I did end up putting a few stitches on each end of the rib just to hold them in place. After that, I glued some lace around the edge of the cutout where the ribs are supposed to be, so it looks like they're coming out from underneath the corset. And then the fun and also kind of terrifying part of painting the blue sort of ombre swirly bits at the bottom and top of the corset. I did this with very watered down fabric paint so that it would blend as much as I could get it to blend. And then I found the navy bias tape was too harsh, so I took some scrap lace and just glued it along that bias tape.
Alright, so corset is pretty much done. I have a few final things I'm going to add to it later. I also did the bouquet. I didn't do much to this. These were flowers I got from Michael's on sale a couple years ago. Just added some leaves and this fabric to it. Now I need to work on the skirt because I think that's going to take me the longest to do. Okay, so I have this dress that I thrifted that I'm going to use the skirt of. I do think I'm going to try and keep the side zipper that it already has, just so I don't have to redo that. But I think first things first is chop the top of this off. Alright, so it's kind of hard to explain what I'm doing with the skirt because I'm just kind of winging it. But basically I detached the skirt of this dress from the top of it. And I'm trying to keep the existing invisible zipper. On the original dress it was on the side, but I'm moving it to the back. And then I took apart the skirt at the other side seam because it had some gathers in the side seam that I didn't want. Initially, I am putting some of them back in. And I'm gonna turn that side seam into the front seam of my skirt, because hers is split open so far in the front. So I took that seam apart completely, and I'm just ironing out some of the skirt. I'm ironing over this top edge so that I can hem it, and just ironing out some of the creases and the wrinkles from those existing pleats that I'm not keeping, and just giving it a quick iron because the skirt is very wrinkled. So once I get this iron, I'm gonna sew that top hem just to seal in that zipper again and kind of have a clean edge, and then figure out where exactly I'm gonna sew the top front of the skirt together. Okay, so that top edge is sewn, and I have the little pleats in the front, very badly pinned. But now just need to see where I need to sew it. I also need to make sure that it's going to sit high enough on my waist that it's going to be covered by the corset. I have these pleats in the front here. I'm going to put that edge over this one and sew it probably down a little bit. And then I can play with the hem at the bottom, kind of rough it up. I will be doing the same thing I did on the corset here, and do a little design on the skirt and weathering and all of that. I am realizing that the pleats were probably not at all necessary, because you can't see them under the corset. But that's how that's looking. So the skirt is pretty much, the base of it is done. It's just the detail work. Alright, so I have started distressing the skirt. I made the bottom edge super jagged, and I've put some holes kind of throughout. Now I have these really cute little butterfly applique pieces that I'm going to put on the skirt and the corset and the veil. But I want to put holes in the skirt and the veil that look like butterflies, so it looks like these have come out of the dress. I never started recording again. I moved up to the table because tracing that butterfly while it was hanging was not happening. But there is one cutout, so I'm just gonna see how it looks hanging and see if I need to make any adjustments. So I tried doing some stitching on the butterfly, but I don't think I like it. My other idea is to take a piece of lace and sew it in behind so that it holds the butterfly's shape, but you still get that see-through element. Alright, I apologize in advance for this terrible lighting. I don't want to close my blinds because it's nice out and I like the sunshine. So, I am continuing work on the skirt today. I ended up doing the lace behind my butterfly cutouts. The first two I hand sewed in place and very quickly decided that was going to take far too long, so I just ended up gluing the other ones. It should be fine. It's a really good fabric glue. So, next up, I'm going to take some other random little fabric pieces from my cutouts and from some lace and just glue them along on the skirt. to make it look even more distressed. And then after that, it's gonna be fabric painting.
So I got all of my little scraps glued on to the bottom of the skirt. And then I started painting the edge of the skirt. It's very similar to how I did the corset. Watered down fabric paint and just kind of kept going up until I got a nice little fade. And I also added some swirls going up the skirt. I just hand stitched on the butterfly applique pieces and I think they look great. So here I am dyeing some lace clothes to act as the skin for my cosplay.
Okay, so I am on the last few pieces of this costume. I did realize that I don't think I actually filmed any of making the veil. But basically I just did the same thing as the skirt. I cut the edge of it so that it's all jagged, cut some holes in it, glued on some scraps, some of the butterflies that I cut out from the skirt, and then I also painted it. This one was significantly harder to paint just because of this material. But when it's kind of all sitting together, you can see it. You can't really see it on camera, but it is there, and I painted some swirls in it as well. And then for the top of it, I actually had this flower crown already. So I just took the veil that I ordered on Amazon and attached it along the back edge there. I just sewed it on. Kept the comb in there so that I can make sure it stays when I'm wearing it. So my last couple things, I need to make her gloves, which I'm gonna do with my scraps from the dress. I'm also going to, I'm not gonna do the full arm, I don't think, but I'm at least gonna do the forearm bone. So I will just be similar to how I did the ribs on the corset. I'm gonna cut it out of a piece of foam, paint it, Mod Podge, either figure out how to temporarily attach it to the shirt or put it underneath the shirt. I'm not sure yet. We will cross that bridge when we get there, but first things first, I'm going to work on these gloves. There's no getting my hand in that. First of all, it is so hard to find pictures of her gloves to try and make it accurate. This was my first attempt, and I didn't think about the fact that this fabric is not stretchy. So there's no way that is getting on my hand. So we're gonna pivot. I have this triangle piece that is going to, I'm gonna put an elastic on the corner to put it around probably my middle finger. Hers goes in between her ring and middle finger, but I don't want to put it on the ring finger because this is the left hand. This is gonna have the actual ring on it. And I don't have snaps, which would work so much better. We're gonna attempt a hook and eye, or a button might work better actually, on the underside here to hold that in place.
These gloves took a bit of trial and error, but basically I just traced around my hand where I thought I needed the gloves to sit, and then sewed them together right sides together.
Okay, so all of my pieces are done. The gloves are done. I did end up having to do buttons because this fabric does not stretch. And then I just painted some of the edges like how I did on the dress and the veil. There's right hand and left hand. And then I did end up making a little forearm bone piece. Same as how I did the ribs, it's just a piece of foam that I painted with acrylic paints. And then I glued some ribbons on there to tie it onto my forearm. This was my friend's idea, thank you. And I think it'll look really cute with all of my lace pieces. So since everything is done, we're gonna go put some makeup on and then put the outfit on. Okay, makeup. So I didn't feel like doing full body paint for this, which is why I dyed some lace clothes. So in my version of this cosplay, her skin is lace. So instead of doing my entire face blue, I'm gonna be using some scrap lace as a stencil and kind of just going along the edges and probably a little bit on my neck as well. Full disclosure, I am doing this on a random Tuesday morning. I feel a little bit crazy right now. Okay, most of this makeup is done. I'm gonna attempt to do her little scar hole in her cheek. It's on the left side of her face. I hate putting fake lashes on, so much. I also did not trim these, and I really should have. Okay, the lashes on this side are definitely bigger than the ones on this side, and it's really annoying me, but I'm not taking them off and putting them on again. The glue is still drying a little bit, but I'm gonna move on to the blue lacy bits. It's doing something. Okay. Doing the darker is not really working. I think I'm gonna go in and just try and draw some little swirls and things based off of this lace pattern, just to darken everything up a little bit. Okay, so this is where we're landing for the makeup. I think it turned out pretty cute, not gonna lie. So I'm just gonna put the lip on and then the wig and the outfit and go outside and take some photos and videos. This is the final cosplay. I am so happy with this. I think it is so pretty. Everything turned out so nice. The makeup didn't quite do what I wanted it to do, but I am planning on going out and taking some fancier photos. So I'll have a second try at the makeup there. It looks really nice. I will say my butterfly applique pieces do keep getting caught on all of the lace going on. So that's a little bit annoying, but overall, I'm so happy with it. I think it looks so good. And I'm just thrilled that I have finally made this outfit. I will be wearing this multiple times. This is one I'm going to revisit a lot. I think I'm going to bring it to Comic-Con next year. I'm a little sad that I don't get to wear it on actual Halloween because I will be working all night, but I will be posting lots of TikToks some pictures on Halloween, so look forward to that. Follow me on my socials. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this process video of making this cosplay. Like I said, I do want to go out and take some more photos when I have a little bit more time. So I'll probably do some videos as well and do kind of a cosplay closet video of this guy. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Leave a like and a comment if you feel like it. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!